All knowledge is precious whether, or not it serves the slightest human use. Luck's a chance, but trouble's sure. I, a stranger and afraid, in a world I never made. They put arsenic in his meat, and stared aghast to watch him eat. They poured strychnine in his cup, and shook to see him drink it up. Now hollow fires burn out to black, and lights are guttering low. Square your shoulders, lift your pack and leave your friends and go. Happy bridegroom, Hesper brings all desired and timely things. All whom morning sends to roam, Hesper loves to lead them home. Home return to him behold, child to mother, sheep to fold, bird to nest from wandering wide. Happy bridegroom, seek your bride. 3 minutes thought would suffice to find this out, but thought is irksome, and 3 minutes is a long time. 10,000 times, I've done my best, and all's to do again. Life, to be sure, is nothing much to lose, but young men think it is, and we were young. That is the land of lost content, I see it shining plain, the happy highways where I went, and cannot come again. With rue my heart is laden, for golden friends I had, for many a rose-lipped maiden, and many a light-foot lad. The laws of God, the laws of man, he may keep that will and can, not I. Let God and man decree laws for themselves, and not for me. The troubles of our proud and angry dust are from eternity, and shall not fail. Bear them we can, and if we can we must. Shoulder the sky, my lad, and drink your ale. Poetry is not the thing said, but the way of saying it. I could no more define poetry, than a terrier can define a rat. Do not ever read books about versification, no poet ever learned it that way. If you are going to be a poet, it will come to you naturally, and you will pick up all you need from reading poetry. Oh, I have been to Ludlow Fair, and left my necktie God knows where, and carried halfway home, or near, pints and quarts of Ludlow beer. And silence sounds no worse than cheers after earth has stopped the ears. Oh, who is the young sinner with the handcuffs on his wrist? And what has he been after that they groan and shake their fists? And wherefore is he wearing such a conscience-stricken air? Oh, they're taking him to prison for the color of his hair. And how am I to face the odds of man's bedevilment and God's? I, a stranger and afraid in a world I never made. June suns, you cannot store them, to warm the winter's cold. The lad that hopes for heaven shall fill his mouth with mold. They say my verse is sad, no wonder, its narrow measure spans tears of eternity, and sorrow, not mine, but man's. A moment's thought would have shown him. But a moment is a long time, and thought is a painful process. The house of delusions is cheap to build, but drafty to live in. Hope lies to mortals, and most believe her, but man's deceiver was never mine. Give crowns and pounds and guineas, but not your heart away, give pearls away and rubies, but keep your fancy free. Strapped, noosed, nighing his hour, he stood and counted them, and cursed his luck, and then the clock collected in the tower its strength, and struck. Tell me not here, it needs not saying, what tune the enchantress plays, in aftermaths of soft September, or under blanching Mays, for she, and I were long acquainted, and I knew all her ways. Great literature should do some good to the reader, must quicken his perception though dull, and sharpen his discrimination though blunt, and mellow the rawness of his personal opinions. The rainy Pleiades wester Orion, plunges prone, and midnight strikes and hastens, and I lie down alone. The mortal sickness of a mind, too unhappy to be kind. Nature, not content with denying him the ability to think, has endowed him with the ability to write. Could man be drunk forever with liquor, love, or fights, leaf should I rouse at morning and leaf lie down of nights. But men at whiles are sober, and think by fits and starts, and if they think, they fasten their hands upon their hearts. Ale, man, ale's the stuff to drink for fellows, whom it hurts to think. Shoulder the sky, my lad, and drink your ale. Stone, steel, dominions pass, faith do, no wonder, so leave alone the grass that I'm under. All knots that lovers tie are tied to sever. Here shall your sweetheart lie, untrue forever. I think that to transfuse emotion, not to transmit thought, but to set up in the reader's sense a vibration corresponding to what was felt by the writer, is the peculiar function of poetry. We now to peace and darkness, and earth in thee restore, thy creature that thou madest, and wilt cast forth no more. White in the moon the long road lies. This is for all ill-treated fellows unborn, and unbegot, for them to read, when they're in trouble, and I am not. Therefore, since the world has still much good, but much less good than ill, and while the sun and moon endure luck's a chance, but trouble's sure, I'd face it as a wise man would, and train for ill and not for good. In every American, there is an air of incorrigible innocence, which seems to conceal a diabolical cunning. Earth and high heaven are fixed of old, and found it strong. I sought them far and found them, the sure, the straight, the brave, the hearts I lost my own to, the souls I could not save. They braced their belts about them, they crossed in ships the sea, they sought and found 6 feet of ground, and there they died for me. To justify God's ways to man. There, by the starlit fences the wanderer halts, and hears, my soul, that lingers sighing about the glimmering weirs. Perfect understanding will sometimes almost extinguish pleasure. Give me a land of boughs and leaf, a land of trees that stand, where trees are fallen, there is grief, I love no leafless land. Lovers lying two and two, ask not whom they sleep beside, and the bridegroom all night through, never turns him to the bride. If a man will comprehend the richness and variety of the universe, and inspire his mind with a due measure of wonder and awe, he must contemplate the human intellect not only on its heights of genius, but in its abysses of ineptitude. The bells they sound on Brighton, and still the steeples hum. Come all to church, good people, oh, noisy bells, be dumb, I hear you, I will come. The average man, if he meddles with criticism at all, is a conservative critic. But if you ever come to a road where danger, or guilt, or anguish, or shame's to share, be good to the lad who loves you true, and the soul that was born to die for you, and whistle and I'll be there. The fairies break their dances, and leave the printed lawn. Housman is one of my heroes, and always has been. He was a detestable, and miserable man. Arrogant, unspeakably lonely, cruel, and so on, but an absolutely marvelous minor poet, I think, and a great scholar. I do not choose the right word, I get rid of the wrong one. Some men are more interesting than their books, but my book is more interesting than its man. Experience has taught me, when I am shaving of a morning, to keep watch over my thoughts, because, if a line of poetry strays into my memory, my skin bristles so that the razor ceases to act. Tomorrow, more's the pity, away we both must hie, to where the ditty and to earth I.